Have you ever stood at a crossroads, clutching something precious, your time, your energy, maybe even your pride, and let it slip through your fingers just to keep the peace? The air feels heavy in that moment, doesn't it? Like the world pauses to watch you decide. As we age, our hearts often grow softer, more generous, especially toward the people we hold dear, family, friends, those who've walked beside us through life's storms. But here's a truth that settles in like a quiet ache. After 65, there are some things you should never surrender, no matter who's asking or how sweetly they plead. Holding tight to them isn't selfish, it's survival. It's the kind of wisdom carved from years of giving too much, too often. Today, we're stepping into a journey together, exploring 6 treasures you should guard fiercely. These aren't just tips, they're boundaries that cradle your health, your dignity, your very soul. And if you've ever wrestled with guilt over saying no or wondered if your needs still count, let me assure you, they do. More than ever. Stick with me until the end, because the final piece we'll uncover might just shift the way you see your relationships, your duties, and even yourself. It could be the key to finally breathing easy and saying, "That's not okay with me," without a shred of doubt. This isn't about shutting others out. It's about welcoming yourself back with the same tenderness you've poured into everyone else your whole life. Ready? Let's dive in. Number 1. Your health and physical well-being. Imagine waking to the soft creak of your bones, the gentle hum of a body that's carried you through decades of laughter, tears, and everything in between. After 65, your body becomes a storyteller, whispering when it's weary, nudging you toward rest, or tugging at your sleeve when something's off. There's a quiet courage in listening to it, especially if you've spent a lifetime tuning out its pleas to tend to someone else's needs. Too many of us push past those signals, ignoring the ache in our knees or the heaviness in our chest, because we don't want to seem frail or let anyone down. But here's the raw, unshakable truth. If your health crumbles, everything else follows like dominoes in slow motion. Take Harold, a spry 78-year-old with a grin that could light up a room. He adored his great-grandkids, 2 little whirlwinds of giggles and sticky fingers. Twice a week, he'd scoop them up for a day of play, even as his back groaned and his nights grew restless. His daughter's grateful smile kept him going. He didn't want to dim it, but one crisp autumn afternoon, chasing them across the yard, his foot caught a root. It wasn't a big fall, just a stumble really, but it landed him on the couch with ice packs and a wake-up call. Harold sat there, staring at the leaves swirling outside, and realized something. Kindness doesn't mean breaking yourself. Now, he still sees those kids, but only when he's rested, when his body says, "Yes, I've got this." And you know what? His family didn't turn away. They leaned in, respecting his honesty, because real love bends toward understanding. Your health isn't a bargaining chip. Those doctor visits you keep rescheduling, they matter. The slow walk you take at dawn, feeling the cool air kiss your face. That's not indulgence, it's reverence. Choosing a nap over a favor isn't laziness. It's the hard-earned wisdom of someone who knows their body isn't invincible anymore. I once met a woman, Clara, at a community picnic. She was 72, with silver hair and a laugh like a wind chime. She told me how she used to drive her sister everywhere, grocery runs, hair appointments, until her own eyesight started to blur. One day, she said, "I can't anymore," and handed her sister a bus schedule instead. Clara's voice softened as she added, "It hurt at first, but now she calls me just to chat, not to ask." Protecting your health doesn't push people away, it teaches them how to care back. It's not weakness, it's a gift to yourself and to everyone watching you live a little longer, a little stronger. Number 2, your personal boundaries. Picture this. The sun's barely up, steam curling from your coffee mug, and the world feels still, just yours for a moment. Then the phone buzzes. A friend needs advice. A cousin wants a favor. Someone assumes you're free because, well, you always have been. After 65, every hour glimmers like gold. Every pocket of peace feels like a treasure chest you've stumbled upon. Yet saying no can feel like lifting a boulder off your chest. Heavy with guilt, sharp with doubt. But your time, your energy, your presence, they're not endless wells anymore. They're gifts you get to choose who to share with. Evelyn, 74, was the heartbeat of her circle. Need a ride? Call Evelyn. House guest overstaying? Evelyn's got the spare room. She loved being needed until she didn't. Years of yes had left her drained, her mornings swallowed by other people's schedules. One day, she sat on her porch, the scent of lilacs thick in the air, and decided to try something new. She turned her phone off for an hour. Just her, the breeze, and that coffee. Next came a soft, "Not today," to a last-minute request. Then a polite, "No thank you," to a dinner she'd rather skip. At first, she braced for backlash, but instead, something beautiful unfolded. Her son started texting just to say hi. Her neighbor knocked less often but smiled more. People didn't drift, they adjusted. They saw her love wasn't gone. It just had edges now. Boundaries aren't barricades, they're garden gates, lovely, sturdy, with a latch only you control. Take my old friend Sam, a retired mechanic with hands like weathered oak. At 68, he started locking his workshop door on Sundays. His brother grumbled, wanting help with a car, but Sam just shrugged and said, "That's my day." A month later, his brother showed up with coffee instead of a wrench. Boundaries don't shrink your world, they deepen it. You can care without carrying everyone. You can listen without fixing everything. After all these years, you've earned the right to decide what fills your days. When someone tests that, it's not your job to soothe their sting. It's yours to stand steady, rooted in what keeps you whole. Number 3, your peace of mind. Close your eyes for a second. Feel the stillness, like a lake at dawn, smooth and unbroken. That's peace, the kind that seeps into your bones after a lifetime of hustle and worry. After 65, it's more than a luxury, it's your sanctuary. But oh, how easily it shatters when someone else's storm rolls in. Their panic, their drama, their need to pull you into the fray, it's like thunder cracking over your quiet shore. You don't have to let it in. You get to choose calm instead. Roger, 81, was the family peacemaker. Siblings squabbling over inheritance? Roger mediated. A cousin's rant about politics? Roger nodded along. He'd sit at his worn kitchen table, the one with coffee rings from decades past, trying to stitch everyone back together. But each call left him quieter, his shoulders slumped, his evenings heavier. One night, staring at the stars through his window, he decided he was done diving into every mess. Now, when the phone rings with tension on the line, he listens, warmly, patiently, but he doesn't wade in. "I hear you," he'll say, "but I'm not the one to fix this." He keeps his peace, and it's like watching a man reclaim his own sky. Then there's Lila, a widow I met at a book club. At 70, she'd spent years absorbing her daughter's every crisis, late rent, broken hearts, you name it. One day, Lila turned off the news, muted her phone, and sat with a cup of chamomile, the steam curling like a promise. She told me, "I realized I didn't have to feel it all. Peace isn't passive, it's a choice, a strength. You don't have to RSVP to every argument or explain yourself to someone who's already made up their mind. It might mean walking away from a shouting match, letting the TV hum to someone else's chaos, or just sitting still while the world spins on. When you guard your peace, your heart lightens, your breath steadies, and the people worth keeping close notice. You've earned a mind that rests easy. Don't let anyone steal it." Number 4. Your financial security money's a funny thing, isn't it? It's not the root of joy, but after 65, it's the key to a certain kind of freedom. The freedom to say no, to savor a warm meal, to know your pills are paid for. Yet there's this silent tug, especially from loved ones. A son's car breaks down. A grandchild's tuition looms. Someone whispers, "You've got enough. Why not share?" But your savings? That's not a bonus. It's your lifeline, woven from years of sweat and skipped treats. Marilyn, 76, was the generous one. Her kids' birthdays sparkled with her gifts. New bikes, plane tickets home. When emergencies hit, her checkbook opened. She'd sit in her cozy living room, the one with the quilt her mother made, and write another check, even as her own numbers dwindled. Then came the day she couldn't pay her heating bill without a pang of worry. She pulled out her ledger, the leather cracked from use, and saw the truth. She'd been giving from her future. So she shifted. She still helps, a little here, a little there, but only what fits. No more guilt-fueled handouts. Her daughter even said, "Mom, I'd rather you be safe than send me cash." I knew a man, Jim, who learned this the hard way. At 67, he loaned his nephew thousands for a sure-thing business. It tanked, and Jim spent a year eating canned soup to recover. Now, he keeps a small yes fund, enough to help without hurting. Your money's your shield, your reward for decades of grit. It's okay to say, "I can't right now," or "I need this for me." No one else will cover your rent or your doctor's visits. Guard it like the treasure it is, because freedom after 65 isn't free. It's earned, and it's yours to keep. Number 5. Your self-respect and dignity. There's a glow that comes with age. Not loud, not flashy, but steady. It's the kind of power that doesn't need to shout because it knows its worth. Yet even after 65, it's tempting to bend, to nod along when you disagree, to swallow a slight, to avoid a fuss. But your dignity, that's non-negotiable. It's the spine of who you are, forged in every step you've taken. Thomas, 84, loved his garden. The snap of beans, the earth under his nails. His neighbor, a wiry guy with a smirk, would lean over the fence. "Still at it, old man. Time to hang it up." Thomas laughed it off until he didn't. One morning, the sun warm on his back, he turned and said, "I'm proud of this, and I'd rather you didn't poke at it." His voice was calm, but it carried weight. The neighbor blinked, nodded, and that was that. Thomas told me later, "I felt taller. Not mean, just me." I think of Grace too, a 71-year-old cashier I met at the grocery store. Her son's wife once snapped at her for meddling when she offered advice. Grace used to shrink, but that day she stood firm. "I'll speak when I see fit. You don't have to listen." Dignity isn't about winning, it's about holding your ground. You don't owe silence to anyone who mocks you or apologies for being yourself. If someone can't honor your years, your voice, your space, that's their loss. You've earned kindness, fairness, and respect, not just from others, but from yourself. Carry it like a crown because it's yours. Number 6, your freedom to choose how you live. By now, your life's a tapestry. Threads of joy, loss, love, all woven by your hands. After 65, those threads should be yours to shape, not tugged by obligation or twisted by someone else's plans. Your days are yours to paint, whether it's lingering over tea, chasing a dream, or just sitting with the silence. That freedom's your birthright, and no one gets to redraw it. Joanne, 79, had a dream tucked away. The ocean, its salty breath, its endless song. She'd stayed in the city, near her kids, near the life she knew, even as it dulled her edges. One winter, after a day that left her feeling like a shadow, she asked herself, "What do I want?" The answer roared back. She packed her bags, moved to a seaside village, and now her mornings are waves and gulls, her afternoons sunlit pages. Her kids visit, on her turf, in her rhythm, and she's never felt more alive. I met a man, Paul, at 66, who traded his suits for a camper van. His sister huffed, "You're too old for that," but he just grinned and drove off to see the mountains. Freedom's not reckless, it's honest. You don't need permission to simplify, to skip the party, to chase what lights you up. If someone guilts you, remember, love doesn't chain you, it cheers you on. Living true makes you brighter, fuller, a gift to everyone around you. Claim it, it's yours. Number 7, your right to rest without apology. Here's a secret the years whisper. Rest isn't a reward you earn. It's a right you own. After 65, the world might still expect you to hustle, to fill every silence with doing. But there's a sacred power in pausing, in letting the clock tick without chasing it. Rest isn't lazy, it's life-giving, a rebellion against a lifetime of go. Take Margaret, 68, a retired nurse with hands that once stitched wounds and soothed fevers. She used to leap at every call, grandkids, church bake sales, you name it. But one rainy afternoon, curled on her couch with a blanket and the patter of drops outside, she stayed put. No apologies, no excuses. Her daughter called, needing a ride, and Margaret said, "Not today, love, I'm resting." The sky didn't fall. Her daughter figured it out, and Margaret woke the next day, lighter, her spirit humming. I knew a guy, Ed, 73, who'd spent decades fixing roofs. Post-retirement, he'd still climb ladders for neighbors, until he didn't. He started napping in his hammock, the sway of it like a lullaby, and told me, "I've climbed enough." Rest can look like sleep, or a slow walk, or just staring at the clouds. It's yours to take, no justification needed. When you rest, you refill your body, your mind, your heart. And the people who love you, they'll see it's not rejection, it's renewal. You've carried enough. Lay it down when you need to. Final thoughts. So here we are, at the end of this winding path. Take a breath and let it settle. Which of these treasures have you let slip, maybe without noticing? Which one made your heart whisper, "I need that"? These aren't just ideas, they're anchors, pulling you toward a life that's yours, truly yours. After 65, freedom isn't handed to you, it's claimed. One no at a time, one boundary at a time. It's saying yes to yourself without a flicker of shame. You've spent years proving your worth to the world, to the ones you love. Now, your only task is to cradle what matters: your health, your peace, your choices. If someone questions that, smile and know this: you're not here for their script, you're here for yours. Tell me below, what hit you deepest? How will you hold it close? I'm listening.